So you just entered your last year of high school. This is the year you get hit with the anxiety of graduating from high school, the idea of leaving behind your hometown or your own school friends and going to new places. But this anxiety comes with its own excitement. If you do well in school this year, you could go to your dream university, meet new friends, and set yourself up to be a successful adult. But unlike your older siblings and seniors, your last year of high school happened online due to the COVID-19 pandemic. You would attend school online as your lectures were on Zoom, your classroom was your bedroom, and social media was how you heard from and talked to your friends. This put a dent in your plans for your last year of high school. You don't get to experience prom the same way or feel all the emotions of the last day of school in person. But you make peace with it and keep telling yourself that there's better times ahead. So you somehow wrap up your last year of high school online. You got yourself a spot at a good university, and now you swear to yourself that the next 4 years are going to be the best years of your life. And you were right. The first week of school in a new city among new people and a new way of life felt unreal. Plus, you were now independent. No parents or school teachers to boss you around, it's just you making your own choices. But as the honeymoon period of your first year at university comes to an end, you face the dead reality of academics and career pressures of going to university. You were responsible for your grades and how you prepared without anyone forcing you to study. Most importantly, your lectures, unlike the last year of high school, were in person. You went from a quiet bedroom in your own house to a lecture hall with 100 plus people. Well, no prizes for guessing what happens after. You find yourself constantly behind schoolwork, you can barely maintain a set routine, and naturally, your grades drop. Even the smartest kids in high school were now pulling below average or average grades. But doesn't this happen every year? We all know about students going from high school to university and experiencing lower grades. Well, in a sense, that's true. But your grades and those of your peers are noticeably lower than those of the previous years. Why is that? There seems to be a larger factor at play here. The only thing different between your cohort and the freshmen from previous years is that you did your last year of school online. So how did online learning impact your first year at university, and what does that mean for you going forward? I'm going to pass the mic to a couple of really smart folks over at LearnIt, a digital learning platform for university students. LearnIt was born out of the academic struggles of university students, and they know this issue better than anybody else.
Thank you for having me, Hema. So, I'm excited to share more about what we've learned, throughout the academic experiences and performances, pre-COVID, during COVID, and post-COVID. And so, one of the first things that we can do is just take a base case as an example. Let's take Intro to Statistics, which is one of the most challenging courses that first years do. And it's a beautiful example of, showing the trend that has happened with all these academic experiences and the impact of COVID. So if we look at pre-COVID levels, if we just take the average grade, it was a pretty standard between 70 to 75%, exactly what professors expected. And the average failure rate, pre-COVID for stats was around 2 to 3%, which is also very normal for a course like that. What we saw during COVID was that professors had to alter the way that they were assessing students. So a lot of the weight that used to be placed on examinations, which used to be approximately half of the students' grades, was shifted towards aspects such as assignments and participation. It became slightly more easier for students to perform better. So they would collaborate with other students, they would perform better on assignments, they would maybe interact more through, chats online, and so they would get better grades in participation. In addition to that, students started to achieve higher grades in their examinations, and that might have been a result of two things. Either the professors, made exams open book and made it easier for students to access some of their notes, or the second alternative is that some students, were academically dishonest. They would collaborate with other students and take advantage of the fact that they weren't being monitored in many ways. And so that led to higher averages. So during COVID, for instance, if you're looking at stats, the averages went up by 5%, leading us to, the high 70s and low 80s, which is extremely high for a course like that. And the failure rate, which is even more surprising, reduced to a staggering 0.74%, which is very surprising for a course this challenging. Post-COVID, once things started getting back to normal, professors started moving back to normal too, and they decided that they wanted, again, half the grade to be dedicated towards the exam and the other half towards assignments, and everything was in person. There was less opportunity to collaborate and interact with other students. And what this caused was the average to significantly decline in a post-COVID world. So we saw the averages go towards a high 60 or very low 70s. And in fact, some professors even need to scale this grade, which means, move it up so that the average even got there. And what we saw with the failure rates was that also increased tremendously, right, to about 7% or even higher in some cases for some courses. So that was a direct result of students, not being prepared for this change or getting too used to that online environment where they were really comfortable, working with their peers and scoring well. The trend we see with statistics can be, similarly represented with other quantitative courses that, university students have in their first few years. So if you look at math, into the quantitative decision making or other math courses, it's a trend that can be seen in all of them. Now, as students, we really all face challenges when we come to university, especially for the first time. What we're doing here at LearnIt is that we're really trying to help students become comfortable with these challenging courses and really thrive in the environment in the post-COVID world. So we really do this in three ways. The first one is looking at personalized tutoring, where you get tutored from an upper year student that has been in your shoes. The second aspect to it is that we provide videos for absolutely free, and we integrate quizzes and certificates to push you towards feeling like you're interacting with the tutor or the person that's teaching you online. And the last thing that we do is provide 24/7 access to experts. So that can look like you submitting your question and getting a video response, or you interacting with an expert through a live chat and getting instant responses to your question. One of the things here we do here at LearnIt is that we offer a platinum package, and what that involves is that if you're a domestic student and you're going into one of the toughest courses at UBC, we'll offer you tutoring, we'll offer you videos and live support, all of it throughout the whole semester. And if you fail your course, we will pay for you to redo it. We're launching in September to all of you new students, focusing on mostly the first and second year courses. To learn more about us, feel free to check out our Instagram. Our plug is learnit_UBC, or you can also find us on LinkedIn and reach out to us, and we'll be happy to help out you with your academic experiences here at UBC.